Good evening, and thank you very much for joining us. Well, it's official. Mayor Jeff Mulligan is throwing his name in the ring for re-election. Mulligan made the announcement in front of family and friends earlier today. As Nara Manisa reports, he says he's running for a second term because he has some unfinished business he wants to take care of.
I think it's the right time to re-elect Mulligan for mayor. I respectfully ask the citizens and all of you to validate that on October 24th. And with that, I'm officially going to throw my hat in the ring.
And with that announcement, Mayor Jeff Mulligan is looking to be re-elected come this fall. If elected, the mayor will have a 4-year term. An amended act has extended the term by 1 more year. Now, it's something Mulligan says was important for the city.
I think you can lay out the vision, you can have time to execute, and you can build the team you need. So 4 years for me makes a lot of sense, and that was a big deciding factor in me saying that's right, and that's another reason I'd run.
Mulligan says there's still unfinished business he wants to take care of. He says he has good ties with both provinces and wants to see the city grow.
So I want to get a real handle on identifying clearly how we can build the fund to make sure that we don't leave an infrastructure deficit for future generations.
As far as city council goes, Mulligan believes a shakeup needs to happen.
I think there needs to be a female presence on council. I think it's wrong that we don't have that input, we don't have that flavor, we don't have that discussion at the table.
Mulligan will be targeting younger voters looking to go online to get his point across.
There'll be the normal newspaper, radio, those kinds of messaging, but social media will play the biggest part in this campaign for me because I just believe it's the most effective and it gets new voters out to vote.
So right now, Mayor Mulligan is running unopposed. Anyone who's looking to run for mayor has until September 19th to get their name in. Now, voters in the border city will head to the polls on October 24th. Reporting from City Hall, Nara Manisa, Newcap News.
Border city drivers expect even more delays on Highway 16. Construction has been underway all summer, and now, even though it's 2 weeks behind schedule, the city is pushing forward, ripping up more pavement to avoid getting even further behind. On top of the current detours, work on Highway 16 from 50th to 62nd Avenue will start on Monday. This phase of the resurfacing should take about 3 weeks to complete and isn't as detailed as the last section. Access to businesses along the route will be affected on and off with restrictions depending on where work is being done. Though weather has been an issue, the city still expects the work will wrap up October 25th. Close to 2 million people are reeling after heavy rain flooded parts of the Philippines. Homes, roads, buildings, and more are now underwater, leaving thousands with nowhere to go except evacuation centers. And many people are still waiting for relief items. Anna Stanislaw tells us how a local organization is coming together to provide help for the tropical country.
Panic was just one of the emotions thousands of people felt as rescue workers fought against the non-stop pouring rain to save those who were stranded. For John Lapus, his family was just one of many who needed to be evacuated.
My family is well and good right now, but some of our neighbors were stuck in the flood, and actually some of the people still in the on top of the roof. So they really need some rescued.
For the next few days, John and the rest of the Filipino-Canadian organization will be putting up posters around the city to invite everyone to their fundraising concert.
Lloydminster Canadians are really good-hearted people, and we want to ask you to witness our night show for a cause.
Even if you are not Filipinos, you are welcome to help, as long as we are hand in hand, work together to achieve a common goal.
The show for a cause will be held at the Holy Rosary High School on Sunday, August 19th at 6 p.m. The PhilCan community is asking for any donations that would help flood victims.
Whatever donations that you could possibly give would be a great help for us.
Now a massive cleanup has started in the Philippines, and all the funds raised will be divided and directly sent to charities and organizations such as the Philippine Red Cross. Anna Stanislaw, Newcap News.
Now, if you would like to show your help, you can visit the information that's coming up right there on your screen. Meantime, severe storms on the Frog Lake First Nation left 8 boaters stranded yesterday. The Canadian Forces Search and Rescue, along with the Elk Point RCMP, were called in to help find the group. They were able to locate all 5 youth and 3 adults. All were treated for non-life-threatening injuries and have been released from hospital. But the RCMP is reminding all boaters to notify family and friends when heading out on the water for safety purposes. A warning for those heading to Kinosoo Beach in Cold Lake. Alberta Health Services is advising not to swim or wade in the water as high levels of fecal coliform have been detected. Ingesting waterborne organisms like fecal coliform can impact the digestive tract and cause skin, ear, and eye infections. The water-based organism was found during routine testing of the lake. This advisory will remain in effect until further notice. Well, 3 people were arrested last night after St. Walburg RCMP found an undisclosed amount of cocaine in their car during a check stop near Paradise Hill. 25-year-old Nicholas Leibold, 27-year-old Jennifer Martel, and 26-year-old Michael Mayer from St. Walburg have been charged with trafficking a controlled substance. They will make their first court appearance October 10th. Finding doctors and nurses to settle in rural communities is an uphill battle. But a new federal student loan forgiveness program is beginning this year in hopes of attracting healthcare professionals to smaller regions. Bark Padiasic takes a look at how this program will work and if current professionals think it will help with the healthcare shortage.
Dr. Casey Young has been living in Lloydminster since July. After 12 years of school, it would have been almost impossible to do it without student loans.
Students are looking at both Saskatchewan, aka provincial, federal, as well as bank or Charter 1 financial institution loans to pay their way through, make it a livable experience. And I ended up going a hybrid of all of those, which most people I think do.
According to Young, student doctors could face anywhere from $100,000 to $150,000 worth of loans. Doctors working in communities of 59,000 or less are eligible for up to $8,000 of student loan forgiveness a year, with a maximum of $40,000 over 5 years. But Young doesn't think the program will work to encourage any more doctors to the area, as he says a short-term gain is the last thing on the minds of prospective doctors.
Medical students, almost by definition, are champions of delayed gratification. So the fact of the matter is to put a lump sum of money on their plate is something that won't necessarily ultimately influence their decision, but I think it definitely helps.
Nurses are also eligible to receive up to $4,000 a year to a maximum of $20,000 over 5 years. To Lakeland College representatives, that's a good thing.
A large part of a student debt is then forgiven if they'll live in smaller, rural places in Saskatchewan, and now with the federal program, it's across Canada. So that's a great thing for students.
Young instead credits local physicians for bringing him into the community as opposed to financial gain.
Specifically, Dr. Raf Saeed, others such as Kevin Govender, and other local community physicians that really basically put a lot of work into the bureaucratic process of making it a feasible opportunity for both parties.
Bart Padiasic, Newcap News.